Hi everybody, I'm Larry Hatteberg, and I am so glad you are here. You know, I have wanted to do this DVD for a long time, but life tends to get in the way of my intentions. Now, Hatteberg's People has been a segment on Cake Television since 1974. It's taken me all over Kansas and also to 15 countries. Now, when I graduated from high school and when I left college, I thought, great, no more teachers. But the people you are going to meet on this DVD, they're all teachers, but not in the traditional sense. They teach all of us about life and how to live it. So with camera in hand, I was their student. And through the powerful medium of video storytelling, you'll meet 30 of the Kansas people. They are not characters of Kansas. They are Kansans of character. These stories are moments in time. It's kind of like looking through a Kansas scrapbook. Now, most of these people are still doing what they love. A few have passed on. But in all of these lives, they have made an indelible impression. These are the real Kansas people. Cawker City, Kansas is not unlike other small Kansas towns. Vacant buildings are common, but a while back, one artist had an idea. Cher Olson thought if the buildings were vacant, why not place art in all those empty windows? Well, she did just that, and she made a big difference to a small Kansas town.
As you come into town, you'll see the big water tower that says Cawker on the right. Well, the neat thing about my studio is that we're just right across the street from the ball of twine, the world's largest ball of twine.
That twine put Cawker City on the map. But a few years ago, as now, vacant buildings became pigeon roosts. Well, Cher and others had an idea.
We thought that maybe it'd just be nice to cover up those windows with something very beautiful, like the masterpieces of art.
So Cher painted over 50 pictures, then added something else. In each one, she placed a ball of twine.
Well, we needed to connect. It worked perfectly.
So for the past few years, the pictures have stood as part of the town's tourist attraction.
It's been really appreciated by the tourists from around the world. It's just been a real pleasure doing this project, and I'm so glad it was appreciated by so many.
In her own right, Cher Olson is a gifted artist.
My artwork is a realism thing. Most of it's realistic. I describe it as colorful. I do a lot of landscapes.
Her artwork is everywhere, especially here in her studio, where scenes from the Kansas landscape are a testament to her roots.
We've got some beautiful hills in the area. Of course, the changing seasons that we have here are just gorgeous.
She loves to paint outside on good days, stretching herself and her art in a continuous search to satisfy that creative urge.
I love it. This is the way I want to spend my life.
But in a small town, art can sometimes create controversy.
Well, it did.
This picture, representing Michelangelo's David, had to be taken down from one of the window displays.
It really kind of surprised me that someone would come up with that thought.
The original David is nude, but Cher strategically placed, you guessed it, a ball of twine on her David.
There was no question. The ball of twine was going to go right where it went. I didn't want to offend anyone.
Now understand that Cher is also the wife of the Methodist minister.
So I did decide to take it down, but we sure get a good laugh out of this.
Living and laughing in a small Kansas town.
I have found my niche in life, and I am happy.
Well, now you're going to have to visit Cawker City. Imagine what it would be like to begin your married life in another country. Well, it happened to Peggy Udaly. You see, during World War II, she became a war bride. Her husband was an American serviceman from Kansas. And in America, she found kindred spirits.
We drew together as a group of English women with a lot in common.
There is a warmth at the table in Peggy Udaly's kitchen.
Want another cup of tea?
I got half a cup here now.
I'm making an Afghan, but I don't think I'll get it finished in time.
With her friend, Frida Hatfield, these two women, who began their lives in England, continue a Kansas tradition that's been ongoing for over 50 years. Once a week, they meet for tea.
Panacea for all ailments.
And more.
Companionship. And the fact that we were all born British. That's the glue that holds us together.
They were war brides. This is Peggy's wedding picture in Taunton, England. Brought to Kansas by their new husbands, they faced loneliness and culture shock.
It was very, very difficult. It's something you wouldn't consider twice.
Frida Hatfield was from Weymouth on the coast.
See, I came over with a 3-month-old son when I came.
They came to the land of windmills, sun, and wind. And there were some surprises.
He told me all about chiggers, which I'd never heard of. Didn't believe him. Didn't believe such a thing existed.
I think it was the school system. Shocked me. You know, we were through school at 14.
To cope with all the changes, women like Peggy and Frida formed little tea groups like this one.
As I say, we've dwindled, but we still get together and chat and drink tea and run down the government, praise the government, do all sorts of things.
As time and tea went by, these English women found Kansas to be home.
I became a citizen in 1963, and I did that because I wanted a right to vote.
It took a war to get these women to the Sunflower State.
Oh, that was terrible, wasn't it?
It takes tea to keep them together.
It is a good cup of tea. The people are so good. If there's a fire, everybody brings stuff. We never saw that in England. People were more standoffish, weren't they?
But I just seemed like I fit in, and I really enjoyed everything.
There is a calmness here by the window. The colors on the teacups mirror the varied life of the war bride. While they miss their family, this little place on the Kansas soil is now home. Time, like tea,
I do.
keeps brewing.
Yes.
Let's go a little bit country now. You know Heather Shelley as that teenage country western singer from Scott City who won $100,000 as the best new act in country music just a few years ago. Well, now some time has passed. She's married. Her husband Strider is also a member of her band, but she continues to pursue her dream. But she lives in two worlds, that of country music and the world of laundry and homemaking. This is Heather Shelley's dream. The stage, the songs, the audience.
I want to make a show as personal as I can to make sure that everybody gets the same kind of show.
And now I'm free.
But it's not an easy dream. Concerts like this one at Dodge City Days fill her schedule, and she's an opening act. The audience arrives, the tickets are sold, and for a few minutes on a Friday night, Heather is living her dream. But in other respects, her life is just like yours. The laundry is always there, and it doesn't wait for fame.
I'm just a normal, regular human being. I, wash clothes, I do dishes, I love to do, I love to clean house. That sounds kind of weird, but I like my house to be clean, and, my husband and I just spend, a lot of time together on the road and at home. I recently made a list of goals that I want to accomplish.
Kick ass.
Kick ass. Oh, that's not your shade. Having a family and taking, our family on the road, on the bus, having kids, maybe adopting kids later. I'd love to win Entertainer of the Year someday or win Female Vocalist of the Year.
Her dreams, obviously big.
It's a woman thing.
Now in 2005, she came out with this collector's edition album called Heather. Now, she admits to some misgivings about her career in the past, but says the last year made her realize she can't let doubt get in her way.
I am so much more driven even than I was, and I feel almost like I didn't take my gift for granted.
When you're
But I didn't appreciate it the way I should have, that I am so determined it's going to happen. It's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when.
Let's slow that tempo down now just a little bit. Hartford, Kansas, just on the west side of John Redmond Reservoir, not far from Emporia, there is this unique store run by Theda Wolford. Now, it is a cross between your grandpa's general store and an 1800s Walmart. The reality is, it is Theda's place, and she runs it her way.
No, I think it's just a store. I was raised in the country and still country, I guess.
Just driving by, it doesn't look like much.
Nope, we don't take credit cards.
But don't let that bother you.
$1.26.
Just go in to Theda Wolford's hardware store in Hartford, Kansas.
$65.75 and $1. Thank you.
It's probably what a Walmart would have looked like 100 years ago.
This is what I like to do.
Stuff everywhere.
Oh, I don't want anything to do with those computers. So that ends that. Get rid of that right quick like.
In Hartford, people have come to depend on this store. It has everything, somewhere.
Well, it makes you get up every day. Something to do.
But how many hardware stores are also a fabric shop?
I have no other vices, so I guess fabrics are my vice.
And how many of those have John Deere quilts?
And I'm going to continue making these because they keep selling. Lanita, did your granddaughter get that quilt all finished with the little cars? I sure want her to bring it to the harvest day. It's jumbled up. I'd like to have it looking more neat, but then some of them say, no, don't do that. It's more fun coming and digging than it is to have everything organized.
Theda's husband, Bill, used to run the store with her. He died a few years back.
Just wish that Bill's health would have held out so he could have enjoyed it when he didn't have to go out and work quite so hard. You see other couples together, that's the hard part. Just remember the good things and keep looking up.
Small towns are full of places like Theda Wolford's old hardware store, unique and timeless.
I couldn't stand to sit on a creek bank and fish at all. I'll always be working because I just am not one that can sit down in a rocking chair and rock. I have to have my hands busy doing something.
Well, let's come back to the city now. You know, sometimes there are folks we meet who just make us feel good. Eula West is one of those. Now, she is a tireless bundle of hello, darling energy. But there is so much more to this woman. We begin at her day job, greeting folks at the Sedgwick County Courthouse in Wichita.
Good morning, how are you? This is my family away from home down here. This has been my life for 38, almost 39 years.
5 days a week, she heads to work. 81-year-old Eula West is about to be surrounded by people at the Sedgwick County Courthouse.
Good morning. Fine, how are you? I have helped hundreds of people a day. Good morning. That makes my day. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning.
For her, the courthouse information desk has been nearly a 4-decade job.
I love it. I love people. This is my life. Morning County Courthouse.
The courthouse walls may surround her, but her personality surrounds the courthouse.
Okay, are you in tune? Love, happy birthday to you. And many more. Go ahead.
She works under the security department, and when it's busy there, she seems to be everywhere.
I'm in the security department. Well, I claim I'm in every department In fact, I claim I run the courthouse.
You know, if you stand down in our lobby very long, you will see a lot of different emotions pass by.
Right.
And you're just a stable person down there that's been helpful for, I don't know how many
38 years, almost 39.
Almost 39 years. That's a long time.
Well, you know, that rocking chair just doesn't fit me. I haven't found a rocking chair yet that does fit me.
When her day at the courthouse ends, she's not done yet. She begins another shift here at Parallax, a drug rehabilitation center.
This is altogether a different atmosphere than I have in the day. That is a goal. That's really a goal.
Many of the folks here call her Mom. She listens without judgment.
To hopefully having a full-time job.
And she lets her heart guide her.
Life is precious.
Remember, Eula started her day at 8 a.m. at the courthouse. She ends it at 11 p.m. here. A 15-hour day, 5 days a week at 81.
But my feet love to walk and I love to talk. Goodbye. See you later. So that's the reason at 81 I'm still here. This is my life.
Not enough hours in the day for Eula, is there? Well, in Council Grove, Kansas, Shirley McClintock is credited with saving an old home that nobody else thought was even worth it. In 1994, she saw an old house as a way to tell its rich history that parallels Kansas statehood. It is the Terwilliger home in Council Grove.
It represents people, it represents struggle, it represents pain, it represents beauty.
It sits on the old Santa Fe Trail, now 56 Highway on the west edge of Council Grove.
I wanted this place to be a place along the Santa Fe Trail where people could feel heart and warmth and a respite from their travels along life's road.
In 1994, the home faced demolition because of its dilapidated condition, but Shirley McClintock couldn't bear to let that happen.
We should be about the business of saving, preserving, not destroying. It's part of ourselves. It's who we are. And we lose part of ourselves when we don't treasure it.
The front part of the home was built in 1860 when Kansas was a territory. Over the years, it's seen many other forms, from that of a home to a gas station. Now restored, it is home to the Trail Days Bakery Cafe.
If we could just get enough sleep, we'd be okay, but it just takes so much work.
She talked her husband Ken into helping with the renovation, and now together they work to make the cafe a Kansas showplace.
We enjoy it because you have an opportunity to meet people from all over the world.
The house was built in 1860 by a frontier family, but it takes its name from its second owners, the Terwilliger family. Now, this was the last house covered wagons passed going west as late as 1863. The McClintocks have attempted to keep it furnished in the ways of the 1800s.
And so by the time this house was completely finished, Kansas had become a state, had gone from territory to state. So the birth of this house is the birth of the state of Kansas.
Etched into the side of the doorway is a rare vine. It's an authentic Indian pictograph from either the Kansa or the Osage Indians.
It's unbelievable. This place requires a tremendous sacrifice on our part to keep it going. Sometimes we're really tired and we spend a lot of long hours here. But the joys here are the people who come. I honestly believe that I was divinely led to do it, that this is God's plan, and I'm just the one He has chosen to carry out my little corner of doing something to stop the destruction. We're a little old to be doing this, but it's a work of the heart.
Well, not all history is good, but Sonia House wants to remember not the bad times, but good people who were lost on January 16, 1965 in the crash of a KC-135 tanker plane at 20th and Piatt. She lives on Piatt. She felt the crash.
Right over there, 67 steps over there. And I stepped this way, and by the time I got right here, well, then I looked out and there went the fire past my window right there.
Sonia House lived through a nightmare. Her house just a few yards from the crash site.
Flames burning way up there in the sky. I saw the fire rolling down the street, just rolling and just burning high, you know. Seemed like it was hell coming, you know. Had never seen hell before, and I didn't know how it would be. But it looked like everything in the world was burning. Somebody said it was so hot that burning up the paint on the fire truck. It was really hot.
In Sonia's neighborhood, south of 21st and Piatt, was Wichita's worst aviation disaster.
And if it had splashed this way, I wouldn't be here today.
In that neighborhood, 14 adults died.
And my neighbor's burning up.
8 children died.
I never got to see them again.
7 crewmen died.
That's a long time, 40 years and 3 months.
And an unborn child is counted as the 30th victim.
It's something that should be done in the neighborhood so that the children that play in that park can see that there is not only just a memorial park there, but there is something there to tell them what it is a memorial about. Community fair.
Working in her church and interacting with others, Sonia is one of many who hopes Wichita won't forget about those who perished.
But God saw fit that it wasn't you. God saw fit that it wasn't me. So therefore you can go ahead on and help out with it, can't you?
As she's aged, Sonia felt it was time to speak out. And now she has.
But the children that play, they can look at that and see all these people got killed. I didn't know that. They can see and remember. It's a part of history so that they will know this actually took place right here in Wichita, Kansas.
Now, through the work of Sonia House and many other Wichitans, the memorial was built. On July 14, 2007, it was dedicated in what is now known as Piatt Memorial Park, located at 20th and Piatt. The airplane-shaped memorial is made of imperial black granite and contains the names of all the victims. That $86,000 memorial now stands as a monument to the deadliest crash in Kansas history and assures that the victims will never be forgotten. Well, now let's go clear out to eastern Kansas. Robert Edge lives in Galena, that is in southeast Kansas, over by the Missouri border. Now, in this stage of his life, he's doing exactly what he wants to do. His work is unusual, and his clientele live in the past. And for him, that's just fine. In a small shop on the corner of Galena's Main Street, the clutter of Robert Edge's world is only in the minds of his visitors.
But I don't mind working in this sort of we'll say mess. It's easy to say that word.
Richard makes knives, all kinds of knives.
This will become 2 knives, hunting knives. These stems up here will become 1, 2, 3, 4 steak knives. There's not a lot of people making primitive things.
They're made for reenactors who enjoy living and portraying the 1800s, but they're also purchased by collectors and deer hunters.
This one's called a hunting knife, and the next one they like is a skinning knife, a short one. But one knife usually sells the next knife. I don't have any complaints. No complaints. I enjoy this every day. Matter of fact, I kind of laugh out loud sometimes. Somebody says, "What are you laughing at?" I say, "I'm enjoying this." I really like it.
Around his eclectic shop, piles of stuff await his creative hand. Over here, cowhide will soon become pants.
Each day is a new challenge.
Pants tend to look like deer hide.
This is a period pair of pants, time period pair of pants, that dates into the 1840s. It's built just about like the old timers built them. And it actually has a brand here on the rear end of it there, but I'll leave those brands on there.
For fun, it's the simple things like this bull dove call.
So many people want to buy that. I can't do this.
Then there is the serious knife, the Bowie knife, made famous by frontiersman Jim Bowie.
This is a classic Bowie knife, the time period of 1837 to 1840s. It's a love. I love to build them. I don't have any regrets when I'm finished with one of them. I want to see where
And
you're
out
at,
back,
but
those tomahawks you've been
wanna make sure-
seeing. He makes those too.
I'm going to put it in there. Ha! Yeah, that ought to be a good one. It's hard to get people, a crowd of people to come into a store like this, but if they did, they'd enjoy it too.
From eastern Kansas we go now to central Kansas. I spent some time with a man some call a genius. His name is Gary Gackstadter, well known for years in Cowley County for his work in music and art. He is a man with passion. He's published a book which he illustrates, and he wrote about the old stone arch bridges of Cowley County. Now Gary is deep, thoughtful, and loves those old bridges.
With all our technology that we have today and all our progress and how advanced we are, we can't do anything like this. And it makes me wonder why.
There she is, she carries me. She hears what I'm not there to hear. She sees what I can't see. There she is, standing stones. When I'm standing near her, I know I'm not alone. This old bridge, this old bridge.
When I look at these bridges, I see something that's a glimpse of a way of thought that I think we need more of today. A way to calm down, concentrate on what's important.
This old bridge.
And see something that might be meaningful beyond our own lifetime.
This old bridge.
I don't think there's much thought about that today. And now you can look at them as works of art. There's these giant sculptures out here of Kansas limestone out here in the middle of nowhere. They do talk to me, and I just have to be still enough to hear their voices.
This old bridge.
They were made to last forever. The people that wanted them, that made them, that wanted their grandkids to be proud of their work.
This old bridge carries me. She's been my friend for life. The treetops form a roof over my head. I could not care less if my feet never touched pavement again. This old bridge, this old bridge.
In 2004, I met a woman who was timeless, not ageless certainly, but timeless in her thoughts and her outlook. Her name was Flossie Page. She was 111 years old and took no pills. She lived to be nearly 113, just missed it by a little bit. But her time on this planet was rich with gifts of the heart. We don't often get a chance to meet history, but there she is, Flossie Page, who next month will celebrate 111 years of life.
It feels like I've lived too long.
As we remember our mothers, we look at Flossie, who is part of 3 centuries. Born June 12, 1893. Grover Cleveland was president. Abraham Lincoln had only been dead 28 years, but today, this woman endures.
So many things that have happened.
She lives in this home in rural Butler County with her granddaughter, Becky Hummig, and her grandchildren. Surrounded by love and young life, Flossie is content. Communication isn't easy, but Flossie tells me about her greatest happiness.
Probably that my family are all close to me and that they're all Christians.
Until just a few years ago, Flossie lived next door in this home, where the wind and the swing usually meet. Now, with the help of her daughter-in-law, Pearl, Flossie lives quietly, and she has advice for longevity.
To take life as it comes and not worry too much about it.
Her life has been blessed as we look at this old family album, an album well kept by her husband, Frederick W. Page. We see a woman the younger generation will never meet, the ageless pictures of youth. All of us have these albums, and we look at the faces, and we wonder at the cruelty of time. Her world is in these pictures when she worked in Washington, D.C. at the War Department in 1918. It's with a friend on the running board of a car. It's her son in his youth, a son who did not outlive his mother. It's with her husband, a precise and exact man to whom she gave her life. He is gone, she is not. And now she says she feels special simply because of her longevity.
It isn't no secret, just live a moral life.
Outside her window, a great-grandchild with all the time in the world. Inside, Flossie Page, whose youth was yesterday, but whose wisdom is for the ages. You know, some folks just know they are in the right place. Bob Cox of Kiowa is one of those. Now, he's part of the culture that makes small towns in America work.
I'm not going to move to the big city, and I don't think I could ever adapt. There you go, lay down and rest a while.
What does a cat, a cartoon, a clock, a hat, a pipe, and a truck have to do with Bob Cox of Kiowa, Kansas?
You know, it's kind of like stepping back in time.
It is all these things that make Bob's life unique. He runs Bob's Printing Shop, a print shop with no computer. Bob sets the type by hand, watched by his old cat.
It's kind of a lost art, so I just do it to be doing something that no one else does, I guess.
He lives in a different time. Small town America, where old clocks speak of the past, and that's fine with him.
I started collecting clocks when I was in high school. Interested me. Maybe way back, I wish I could just turn the clock hands around to 50 years ago.
He's lived in this town all his life, grew up here, likes to wear hats, and he wears many of them.
People enjoy seeing it. It's kind of like clocks, the craftsmanship, and I like the old sound of the transmission.
In public, you know it's Bob because he drives a 1946 Chevy panel truck, another time machine.
It's fun. I wouldn't change. Looks like everybody's busy.
Mid-afternoon, he takes a break at Larry's Barber Shop.
This is the spot.
Time not too important here, but people are.
It's where the guys come to find out what's going on.
All the women go to the beauty shops.
Yeah.
And they get all the gossip, and then they come home and tell their husbands, and then the husbands come in here and tell everybody else about it.
Yeah.
Now, living in a small town also means you run the movie projector at the local theater.
I enjoy it, and this is where I want to be.
Back in his shop, modern conveniences are few, and his most popular window display, the place where his old cat likes to sleep.
These people got you all fouled up, don't they?
Now, Bob doesn't have a TV or a DVD player and seldom uses a computer. He's too busy, simply living and loving life in this small town.
If we had a TV, I'd be sitting in front of the TV instead of back fixing somebody's clock or doing something I enjoy.
Now, you'll remember Bob. He drives a truck, smokes a pipe, wears a hat, runs the movies, has a cat, repairs clocks, and sets type, and does all this without any hype.
Sometimes I feel like I'm enjoying things that no one else does. Maybe I'm an era behind.
Now imagine holding a job for 53 years. Well, Belva Morgan did. Belva was the postmistress of Norway, Kansas. Now that's a little town in Republic County. I visited with her when she'd only been there some 50 years.
Very old buildings.
31 people live in Norway, Kansas. At the post office, Belva Morgan knows them all.
They're congenial. People lives here. Well, I just am in love with them.
For 50 years, she has been the postmistress in this tiny community in Republic County. At 88, she is still working.
And I've got to know the people. I've got to miss them when they're gone.
Like any post office, there are the usual things, pictures of folks they don't want in their community, and a notice that juicy Colorado peaches have arrived.
You learn to like people, you learn to love people.
Norway is a tiny farming community surrounded by corn. Founded in 1869, this little place holds a special beauty for those who live here.
I like the quietness of it. You don't have to worry about what's going on in the cities. I just like it, I guess.
Next door to the post office lives Eugene Herman. He's retired and maintains a world-class garden both in front and back of his home. Belva has tea with he and his wife every afternoon. Among the flowers and sleepy cat are moments unattainable in larger cities.
I wouldn't want to live anywhere else.
I don't either.
Outside Belva's post office back door are the flowers planted by her neighbor and the nearby fields of corn stretching to the sun.
In other words, you found out I'm just kind of sold on Norway, Kansas.
Inside, Belva works as she has for 5 decades. And by the way, after 50 years, she has 4,000 hours of sick leave just waiting to be used.
Where I enjoy life.
To many, there wouldn't be much here in Norway, Kansas.
Where I love my friends.
But to Belva?
And my patrons.
It is paradise.
Well, I'm just content, I guess, and hope the rest of my life is as enjoyable as it is now.
For some people, history is very real. Now, Veterans Day comes and goes every year, but for many who have served in the military, their war has yet to be won. For veterans like Benny Jeffries of rural Wellington, his war continues to be fought. It is post-traumatic stress syndrome that Benny fights. Over 60 years after his World War II service, his personal war has no sign of letting up.
There's no way that I can get it out of my memory.
Benny Jeffries was a tail gunner on a B-17 in World War II. He proudly served his country. 64 years later, the war he fought may be over for history, but not for Benny.
I think one of the worst things for me right now is with my wife gone, I hate to go to bed at night. A lot of times I'll stay up till 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning.
In the early 1940s, Benny was a newlywed. Twyla Marie was his wife. The day after they were married, Benny received his draft notice. A few days later, he left for the war.
She had married a kind, loving young man. She didn't marry a soldier. When I come back, she said I was still fighting the war. And she wanted her kind, loving husband back.
And to this day, he is still fighting the shadows of history and the horror of war.
So, my position was right back here. And I sat with my legs doubled up under me.
On one mission, they had part of their wings shot off. But what bothers him most is that once they had to drop their bombs in order to maintain altitude. Where those bombs went has haunted him for over half a century.
They could have landed in a farmer's open field, or they may have landed in a hospital or a schoolyard. I know that I survived the thing by the grace of God. I pray God will forgive me for my part of that.
The young tail gunner from Kansas, still fighting a war that for him will never end.
When it's over for me, will be the time I'm laying in a coffin.
Winfield, Kansas native Barry Patton has two lives. One is his business. The other is his music and his most unusual instruments. Being around Barry, you can't help but smile and tap your foot. He owns a diesel service and truck repair. Trucks he repairs are large. The work is dirty. But while this is business, this is his passion. Barry is a bones player.
That's the reason they call them bones. They're made out of real cow ribs, the rib bone of the cow.
Meanwhile, Barry's garage looks pretty typical. Trucks worn with thousands of miles sitting like patients in a doctor's waiting room.
You have your instruments over here, and here's your patient.
But these titans of the road aren't the only ones with lots of miles on them. In addition to his mechanical abilities, Barry is one of the best bones players ever, maybe the best. These bones between his fingers take him all over the world, as far away as China. He also plays and has made videos with the Byron Berlin Band. But wherever he's at, his bones are not far away.
It's in your blood. Don't ask me how I picked up the bones or what possessed me to play bones when you're 13 years old, other than people saying that, hey, keep playing them, carry that tradition on of bone playing, because it's really an old lost art. Most people probably enjoy it, and I really do, because it just makes you feel real good that you are doing it. There you have it.
Well, I tried those things, but they didn't work. Only Barry can make them work. Well, let's go to Mulvane. Luciano and Nancy Motola could have put their restaurant anywhere in the U.S. Now, she is from Mulvane. He's from Italy. They picked Mulvane. He uses his family recipe, and together they have created an experience more than a restaurant. And unlike other businesses, money is not their goal.
It's a team effort. I mean, it's not just Luciano and I that make this happen. It's everybody who's here that works so hard, that cares.
It was phenomenal.
Great, that's what we want to hear. Thanks for coming. This is the community where I grew up. This is my history. When I was a little girl, we did all our shopping on Main Street, and now it's empty, and we want to see it full again. We want to see people remember what the character and the soul of this town is about.
And come here and feel like you're in Italy. The best things in the life, I think, is food. Why not enjoy?
Yep. And so the adventure began. Nancy met Luciano Motola during a 3-year stay in Italy. They fell in love, and together brought his idea of bringing a little bit of the Italian lifestyle to Mulvane.
And we talked a long time about putting it in Mulvane or putting it in Wichita, but there were some people in the community that really supported the idea of it being here. And we knew it was a risk, but it'd be a risk in Wichita as well.
It's life.
Luciano comes from Verrocchia in the Tuscany region of Italy. He is one of 7 siblings. Their menu is his family's recipes, but it is more than just food that they bring to the plate.
My family is more valuable to
Oh,
me
yeah.
than money. My friends, my word, you know, there's certain aspects of life that sometimes I think our society gets in such a big hurry that we forget to
enjoy the life.
Right, to value the things that are more valuable than money.
They want you to experience their life in Italy. People gathering, laughing, talking, and ignoring the clock. Instead, they concentrate on living life.
And we admire you, Carol.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday, dear.
It's when people sit down, have a great meal, and great conversation, and they just lose themselves in the moment that we can help to bring them. That is why we do it. A lot of people said we were crazy,
Yeah.
but I at least want to try, and I want to show people, other people that are thinking about taking this kind of a risk, that it is possible.
Thank you so much.
Oh, thank you.
Thanks
We'll be
for
back.
joining us. Thanks.
You can make a difference. You can change the community.
Thank you. Thanks a lot.
You know, we don't feel like we've made it. We haven't. There's so much more we want to do.
Yeah. And
But
just enjoy.
It's like an adventure.
Yeah. It's like regular life.
Now we're all hungry, aren't we? Well, let's hear some good music. In the field of music, Wichita is lucky to have her, and I'm talking about Donna Tucker. Now, Donna is a well-kept Wichita musical secret. This woman of jazz makes her mark in other parts of the world, yet in Wichita, she remains low-key.
Is the place full? Pretty full?
At Cabaret Old Town recently, they were waiting for this woman, Donna Tucker.
Be a friend to a friend who's crying. How will I know? What will I see? Tell me when I get there.
She is an internationally renowned jazz artist, known in Japan, Dallas, and other venues. But here, where she lives, she's nearly invisible.
Yes, I was probably testing the water to see if Wichita would be receptive to what I do.
Donna Tucker, ladies and gentlemen.
Come on and cry me a river. I cried a river over you.
I want people to come to my performance and feel that they're in my living room.
Nearly drove me out of my head.
Overseas in Japan, she plays 4 months at a time at the Tokyo Westin Hotel. Her office there comes with a view.
The Japanese love American jazz. They're a very, very wonderful audience.
For 20 years, she lived in Dallas, where she had a great following at Arthur's Jazz Club and on TV.
This is kind of like getting to play dress up every time you work. There's really not anything in this business that I don't enjoy doing.
Then, 15 years ago, a bad thing happened.
I was robbed and injured in my home in Dallas. My husband found me handcuffed to a pillar in our bedroom, and it was a long time of recovery, emotionally.
So because of that, and the fact that this Oberlin native missed Kansas, Donna came back.
There's something about Midwestern people that you don't find in other places of the world. When you go home, you really go home.
Well, I might take a train, I might take a plane. If I'm on a walk, I wanna do the same. Gonna Kansas City, here I come.
For the past decade, she's worked on and off in Japan, but lived in Wichita, quietly producing concerts for others while she remained in the background.
Pitch on day by day, F sharp.
Now, with one Wichita concert under her belt and working with the new Savoy Band, it just might be time for Donna Tucker to get back into the spotlight.
Your golden sun will shine for me.
My music's who I am. I often have said, in fact, in the last few years, I'm going to get out of this business. I'm not going to do this anymore. And people look at me and say, but it's who you are.
I could listen to her sing all night. Well, let's go up to Belpre, Kansas. When serious illness hits, some people have unusual ways to cope. Melvin Gilkey of Belpre found that animals have helped him survive some serious heart problems. One animal in particular, though, has folks talking in Belpre.
Come on, let's go. Come on, let's go. Yeah, come on.
Melvin Gilkey likes animals, most of them birds.
Come on.
But his favorite...
Come on, Spark. Hey, here I am. Come on, let's go.
Sparky.
Come on.
An Old English bantam rooster.
Hey, let's go over here. Come on, where's your hands?
Not far from the water tower in Belpre, Kansas, is where Melvin can be found most days among the birds and the animals he loves. But it's this little rooster that he hand-raised. It's now Melvin's house pet.
He's one of a kind. You're never going to see another one like him.
But this little rooster isn't the only bird Melvin has. He's got a couple of hundred back behind his house.
Just occupy your mind where you're not thinking about yourself.
It is these birds that help him live.
Come on, Smoke.
For the past decade, Melvin has been fighting a serious heart condition. These birds and animals are his tonic.
He's just a good pet. He would follow me all day.
But it is old Sparky the rooster who provides the magic.
Oh, he loves to be held. Better yet, I sit in a chair. He sit on my legs and go to sleep. Well, I don't know of any others around that would do it. It just, like I say, occupy your mind to where you're not worried about your health. If you got problems with anything, you can get an animal like this and watch him and work with him, and it just occupy your mind where you're not thinking about yourself. And here, get in here with him. Watch him. If I didn't have him away, I'd be in pretty bad shape.
And yes, the rooster sometimes poops in the house.
He gets a little messy once in a while, but that you got to live with. Of course, I got to do the cleanup. That's number one.
Oh yeah, he takes the rooster with him when he goes downtown.
Yeah, he'll go any place where I go. He's always with me. But you get an animal like any kind of animal, I don't care what it is. Chicken or pigeons or dogs, anything. And that's how you can keep your life intact better. About everybody around here knows about him.
Everyone has their own way of dealing with a serious illness. For Melvin Gilkey of Belpre, Kansas, these animals are just what the doctor ordered.
Want something to eat? You want to eat too, Smokey? Come on, let's go eat.
By the way, chickens are hard to photograph. Well, as you know, I meet a lot of folks, but seldom have I ever met anyone who has overcome life's tragedies like Bill Wedekind. Now, this optimistic Kansan has no reason to be that way. His life took a mean turn. But Bill took his Marine training to heart and is now inspiring all who meet him.
Just about anything can be overcome, provided you're willing to work hard enough to do it.
Near Westmoreland, Kansas, in a deeply rural setting, Bill Wedekind is contemplating the rest of his life.
Normally what I do when I'm relaxing is just sit out here and puff on my pipe and drink my Coke and enjoy the breeze.
It is a gorgeous summer day, but Bill doesn't see that. He's blind, and he has no hands.
What happens, happens. You can't change it. It was your lot in life. Get used to it and make the best out of it, which is what I had to decide to do, is make the best out of what I had left.
He came from a family of Marines, but it was in Vietnam near Da Nang he encountered a booby trap.
The funny thing is, I was still conscious, if you can believe it. God kind of protects you once in a while. There's some things it's best not to remember, and I think that's one of them.
You might think, no sight, no hands, why go on? But you haven't met Bill.
The choice was either to live or die, and dying seemed like quitting. And that just doesn't fly with this kid. No, when you get an extra 40 years you didn't expect, or that you probably shouldn't have gotten, you can't help but be grateful for it.
In a moment that would change his life, his grandmother suggested he become a potter. Blind and no hands? A potter?
I was a little afraid Grandma had lost her mind because I was just barely functioning then. So I tried it and was successful with it, and I've been at it now since 1970 and love it. The impossible can be done. You just may have to work a little harder at it.
And like all of us, Bill has sometimes just simply wanted to give up.
You just want to quit. You want to say, forget it, I'm tired of it all. I mean, I did think about checking out, but then I couldn't figure out a way I could do it. So I was stuck.
But Bill never gave up. His work as a master potter is testament to his beliefs. He's one of those unique men forged by war whose Marine training perseveres.
That type of environment produced self-discipline and self-confidence.
But his mission now is to mold the lives of others like he molds the clay.
You just got to take what's given to you and make the best out of it. I think it's what it's all about.
Oh, Bill Wedekind is an amazing guy. Well, when I visited with Galen Kalbach several years ago, he couldn't live any more rural. He is in the far reaches of western Kansas near Leote, and he likes it there. A man left over from the 1960s, and he doesn't mind a bit.
Oh, it's a challenge. It never rains here.
On this little oasis in the middle of nowhere,
it is very unspoiled here.
Galen Kalbach celebrates nature.
It is like a sanctuary. Everybody loves this flower. I never have enough of this.
Galen is a grower, creator, and designer of incredible dried flower arrangements, but the process begins here in a garden full of flowers and plants.
Well, it's a special place in western Kansas. I mean, you know, western Kansas is like no other place on earth.
It is perhaps as unique as the man who works this land. Galen went to college in Berkeley and San Francisco State in the 60s.
I have no regrets, you know, from the 60s and the Haight-Ashbury it was just a very fun and inspirational time.
Meanwhile, hundreds of drying flowers await Galen's artistic touch.
But isn't that lovely, the way, look at that. I mean, it's like orchid colored almost. Basically, I'm taking color and just designing with it like I would be painting with it, you know?
Like his flowers waiting their arrangement, Galen's life, too, is a kaleidoscope of colors. He's studied almost every humanity, including architecture, biology, ballet, opera, art, and music.
And there's just no stress, you know? I mean, that's very nice to be in a place where there's no stress.
Except perhaps on this day when he's getting ready for a show. His flowers now colored and dried in what for most of us would be a complicated process.
It's doing pretty good.
For Galen, it's the magic of his art.
Well, it's unlike fine art. You have to create your own beauty where God creates the beauty in flowers. And so the beauty is already there, and so you're automatically working with beautiful things no matter what it is. In order to do something like this, inspiration is the hardest part.
So as long as he keeps watering, as long as the flowers grow, there will be another sunset for the man who keeps flower power alive for a new generation. Those flower arrangements are incredible. Let's go up to northern Kansas now. A church dies and is reborn in the spirit of the people. Now, it happened in Pfeiffer, Kansas. That's out by Hayes. When the Catholic Church could no longer support the congregation, the money stopped, but the people didn't. Meet Carol Billinger and the town folks who said this church must live.
It's just so much a part of me. It's really a monument to the people who built it.
In Pfeiffer, Kansas, Carol Billinger is the postmaster.
We're in a little valley, and all the farmers, all they have to do is step outside and they can see the church. We really cannot let this church go. It's just so beautiful and so indescribable.
She's right. It was built by townfolks of German-Russian heritage. They built it in 1918 at a cost of $56,000.
You see their hard work. You see the sacrifices that they went through, and you can't escape that. That's part of it.
In 1993, this magnificent church closed. Not enough priests, not enough people.
It's very painful, and it's very painful still. It doesn't go away.
But those who remained wouldn't give it up. Too many memories.
To me personally, this church has always been a sign of my faith.
We have never found a place that we felt at home like this church.
I was born here, I was raised here, I got married here, I raised my family here.
We've had so many people since we were closed come up to us and tell us, for heaven's sakes, don't let this thing go. If you need help, let us know, we'll help you.
Those who remained formed a nonprofit corporation. The doors now stay open through donations.
It makes it a joy to take care of it.
Rising like a monument to the human spirit, this church endures. Carol Billinger's workdays come and go, but the church remains as the community bedrock. The church that could not die lives on.
And together we're making progress.
And from that beautiful church now in Pfeiffer, we head down to Dodge City. There is this little Dodge City Museum, and it's not easy to find. Harold Dawley is one of those guys who found a collecting niche and stuck to it. What he also found was happiness. With melting snow arguing with the sun, Harold Dawley makes the short walk from his Dodge City home to his life.
Well, the idea of the building was just to have a place to keep my bits.
Harold has created the Museum of Bridal Bits, hundreds and hundreds of them from all over the world on display.
My idea when I started collecting bits, my idea was to get as many different kinds as I could without having any two alike. I tell people this building is my life now.
And it is a full life. Bridal bits from Kansas and the world line his walls in what may be the only bridal bit museum in the world.
I have accomplished something here that you just can't go out in the country and find another one that would match it. Come here. Come back here. The horse has always been my favorite animal ever since I was a little bitty guy. And of course the bit is the main tool of communication between man and horse. Sometimes I think a horse talks back at you, but a bridle isn't going to do that. Yeah.
For 30 years, Harold has been collecting these bridal bits. His collection sprawls from wall to wall, but it wasn't always this way.
I had them in the house, I had them in the garage, I had them in sacks, I had them in boxes. I had no place to put them where I could keep them protected, you know.
So that's when the building was built.
Like I said before, it just makes me feel like I have really accomplished something.
Over an old dresser in his museum is a picture of a cowboy. I ask who it was.
You mean that cowboy?
Yeah.
That's me.
That's you?
Yeah. That one with the gold shirt on and the brown hat. Hey, that's me.
In the late 40s and early 50s, Harold wanted to be a movie star, even appeared as an extra in the movie Comanche.
No kidding. I mean, I had that idea that I would like to be one.
Well, that dream didn't work out, but he did become a star collector with his own museum.
I mean, it's complete, original.
Teaching the rest of us about bridal bits and keeping the Old West alive.
It's a great satisfaction.
And from Dodge City now we come all the way back to Wichita. Immigration, as you all know, is at the forefront of American issues, and I'm as guilty as any reporter of not giving enough coverage to our Hispanic population. So now, I want to tell you the story of Francisco Rizzo of Wichita, originally from Mexico, and how through perseverance, hard work, and love for this country, he made a great life for his family. Now we begin with his granddaughter, Lupita Cordova.
También, my grandfather and my father both struggled a lot to get here.
A new Mexican restaurant opened up on Wichita's west side. The owner is 35-year-old Lupita Cordova.
But you're drinking there and it's nice and cold.
Her story begins back in 1974 with her grandfather, Francisco Rizzo.
I'm very, very proud of them because if it wasn't for them, we wouldn't be here, and I know that they're proud of me.
Francisco came to this country illegally in the late 1940s and registered for the U.S. Army. He was then called to active duty and served nearly 3 years in the armed forces.
I like very much. I think I was a good soldier because they sent me to the infantry school to help to teach the officers.
After his Army service, they deported him back to Mexico, but he was already married here and had children. But he also had to come back because he had a dream.
See, I work in the restaurant in Mexico before I come to this country.
After a series of jobs in Wichita, he bought this little place at Douglas and West Street.
Well, the first day I sell $40. Second day, $70. Then comes Friday and I sold maybe about $300 or $400, so I figured I started something.
And so it was that this restaurant was to become a family operation. Over time, Francisco turned it over to his daughter Selena, then son Chico, and finally,
hard at work,
Lupita Cordova. Francisco's granddaughter bought it to honor both her father and grandfather and to continue the tradition.
Because if you help your parents in life, you'll always get something in return.
The original restaurant Lupita bought is scheduled to be torn down to make way for street improvements. Now, she's built this new one, Chico's.
But at first it was very, very difficult. I wanted to give up. And, I thought, well, I want a memory there of my grandparents, of my parents. And it was very difficult. But we made it.
It's here she has staked her future, built on the hard work of her grandfather, who despite deportation became an American citizen and an American success.
That was my dream, and it's come true.
Now Francisco, in his 80s, spends his days taking care of his wife Magdalena, who has health problems.
And he's a hero for all of us.
I have everything I desire in my life.
They are hardworking people, and that food is great. Now this next story is about one of the most unusual people I've ever met. Ernie Dittemore of rural Troy, Kansas. Now Ernie spent the last 40 years of his life living in a hole in the ground, and he was one of the most content humans I've ever had the pleasure of meeting. He lives in the shadows of civilization. He lives on humanity's edge, that thin line that separates the creatures of the woods from the soul of a man.
I don't know where I'd find a better place to live.
Ernest William Dittemore doesn't care what you think of him. Living in the backwoods of Doniphan County, he sits among the debris of his home that burned nearly 30 years ago. A home he never rebuilt, yet he never moved.
No, I haven't got no reason to want to move.
Through other eyes, the answer would be obvious. But Ernest Dittemore has never done the obvious. When his house burned, he went underground to a hole 4 by 10 feet.
There's where I go in at. There's a trap door right back there, open it and go down in it, and that's it.
It's a hole so small our camera couldn't get in all the way. So small, there's only room for Ernest.
Stuff in them buckets like sugar and stuff like that.
There's no electricity, no running water, nothing.
Yeah, it's cooler in the summer, warmer in the winters.
Is it hard to keep clean?
I don't make no attempt to keep it clean.
And you enjoy living this way?
I enjoy it.
Dittamore's life intertwines with nature, ruled by the sunlight and living in the shadows. His choice, his way.
Old enough to know better, but I don't.
Through the weeds, an aging Piper cub appears as an unlikely addition to Dittamore's odd existence. He used to fly it. That was a lifetime ago.
I don't think it'd be too hard for me to pick it up again.
While the weeds and brush reach for the sun's warmth, Dittamore shuns the warmth of company, preferring to be alone, unbathed, and unkempt.
I can clean up if I want to. I generally don't take the time to do it, but I can.
Dittamore can do whatever he wants, except change.
Tell them this country is free. So I've been told in school books. I believe there's something in our school books about life, liberty, and pursuit of happiness for all. Can I make that any plainer? I didn't think I could.
That story about Ernie is one that people want to see again and again. He was a remarkable man. Well, I was giving a speech at a local hotel, and I happened to see a display of art that I thought was remarkable too. Then I met the artist, Shirley Ruffin of Wichita. She too is remarkable and speaks her mind.
I call it a gift. I feel very deeply about painting, so it's pretty deep. And I like to do the best job that I can when I paint a picture. I want all of them to be the best.
In a tiny apartment cramped by life and cluttered by living, artist Shirley Ruffin's brushstrokes are painting a history of a people.
I would like to think that every time someone looks at one of my paintings, they'll say, wow, that lady did a good job with that painting, instead of saying, oh, that black lady did a good job with that painting, or are you sure that black lady did that? Are you sure she didn't paint by numbers?
There are no numbers on these canvases, but there is a reverence for culture and an eye for everyday life.
Hey, when I was a kid, I was a little girl in the window. I used to look out the window. And my mom used to say, come back in here and sit down. You don't need to see what's out there or whatever.
As the color hits the canvases, painting Shirley's life reveals the unexpected. For 15 years, Shirley Ruffin was in the CIA as a technical illustrator.
I met some real weird people, even more weird than the ones that I've met here. Don't get offended now, Wichita, but you have some weird people here, let's face it. So, but out there at the agency, there were some strange people. I mean, they were just different.
Shirley's life is like her art, different, striking, bold, and she's not afraid to say what she thinks.
I say what I think, and sometimes it's not the most popular thing. I think that's what got me in trouble at the CIA. I do want to present my people in the light that they should be presented, not the normal, no offense to your television station or anyone else's, but whenever a crime is committed, boom, there we are. Or whenever there is a shooting, boom, there we are. But that's not what we're about.
This is what Shirley is about. Strong images, whether they be black, white, or even Indian. This woman hopes for a world yet to be, where color is only a paint, not a taint.
So that's what I believe, that we will always survive. I'm content. Yes, I am. I am.
We go from this wonderful art now to history. You see, just outside of Marion, along Marion Lake, Helen Beckham is saving history. Now, other people are helping, and as a result, small historic victories mean all of us learn more about our Kansas history.
Oh, I get a real warm feeling. It's just a good place to be. It is a blessing that we have it here in Marion County.
In one of the lake homes that dot the landscape, Helen Beckham is responsible for keeping much of this lake history alive.
When I found out that it was built by the CCC, and then when I found out that it was built by black veterans, I mean, that even made it more interesting. I just think that the history that was happening at that time made people just a little bit more great.
Designed by Marion County engineer James Meisner, it was black veterans who worked on the project, a project that has captured Helen's life.
I just think that it's very important that anything that has been made for future generations, it's our responsibility to make sure that the future generation gets to enjoy it.
Helen is responsible for having the site and its many structures placed on the National Register of Historic Places.
And to pay respect to these men, we need to save the structures they built.
Without that, it's possible many of these buildings built by those black veterans might be gone and no one would remember. That won't happen.
I want to invite people to come to this area because it is very, very unique. See, look at this wall here with those two triangles.
Yeah. A neighbor, 13-year-old Landon Leaker, also became involved in the project. One day he took a walk with Helen and his sense of history was piqued.
I don't think it's that uncommon to have somebody my age to do this, but I just wanted to find and restore this lake to its original form.
Now, with a statue dedicated to those who built the lake and a continuing interest by a new generation,
Everything's different around this lake.
Helen Beckham's crusade to keep lake history alive is a success.
I just felt like a God would look at me and say, hey, you didn't get much done.
But you have.
I have.
We go from Helen's work along Marion Lake clear up to Concordia now. If you have a job, stick with it. Lawrence Schluter of Concordia did. He's been a milkman most of his life. He keeps saying he's going to retire. That doesn't appear to be happening. Before he makes his pancakes, before he flips, before he takes that first breakfast bite.
Oh, I'm independent.
Lawrence Schluter of Concordia is up delivering your milk.
I like to meet my customers every day.
In Concordia, Kansas, for 57 years, Lawrence Schluter has been the milkman.
I was just a kid when I started.
Lawrence is a bit like all of us, a regular guy who wants to eat breakfast with his dog after he works.
I've had prostate cancer. That was 15 years ago. I whipped that.
Never a man to just sit. At nearly 80, delivering your milk in Cloud County has been his life.
I don't know what I'd do if I quit. Oh. Got right into it, didn't I? I'd probably go nuts.
In a city known for its hills and history, Lawrence Schluter may be a footnote as one of the longest-serving milkmen in Kansas.
I don't have to get up in the morning and wonder what I'm going to do today. I know what I'm going to do. I just keep on going. So I guess that's all I know. Kids are always giving me a fit. Want me to quit. Maybe next year.
Maybe not. Wherever he goes, it's the work that keeps him going. After 8 kids and a wonderful marriage, this milkman, through our back doors, delivers and picks up.
Well, when I got this job, I was looking for a steady job. I guess I got it.
The only problem with being a milkman is you got to get up too early. Well, a few years ago, a woman called me one day and she said she was looking out her window and she saw a woman sitting on her porch with 2 birds on her shoulder. So I checked it out, and sure enough, when I pulled up in front of the home, Christy Hoverack and her friends were there.
Blackbird singing in the dead of night. Take these broken wings and learn to fly. All your life, you are only waiting for this moment to be free. Blackbird singing in the dead of night.
Christy Hoverack may be singing about blackbirds, but those are baby blue jays perched on her shoulder.
All your life, you are only waiting for this moment to be free.
A couple of weeks ago, neighbors cut a tree down. 2 newborn blue jays had no home. Christy became their mom.
I guess it was because of my mom. When I was a child, we would bring in every kind of stray animal ever, and had lots of baby birds and tried to raise them, and they just carried on, I suppose. Yeah, it's quite a picture, all right. You hungry? Are you hungry? Oh, I know. I know. Such a big bird. And you eat now. I will not cage them, ever. Oh, goodness. They can do what they want and go as they please. And they clean themselves and they enjoy a nice cool drink. Need some? Everybody can do this. Everybody can find their own type of relaxation. This just happens to be mine. I think they like it too. Do you? Do you like it? You do. You do. You do. You do. Peaceful and free.
I could watch that story again and again. Love those birds. Let's move on to the Flint Hills now. Photographer and teacher Larry Schwarm, who used to live in Emporia, uses his cameras to document rebirth. Now, he photographs the Flint Hills spring fire ritual. It is fire that renews the prairie and at the same time creates some magnificent photographs.
And I can be out here come out in the morning and not going back till night, and sometimes I'll go 4 and 5 hours without ever seeing anybody out here, and it's very, very calming.
Larry Schwarm found his niche here in the Flint Hills, where earth, wind, and fire make spring a memorable and unforgettable season.
I've always had a connectedness to the earth, and this is one of the ways that I can reconnect to that.
For the past 11 years, it's photographs like these that made Larry Schwarm a dominant figure in the Flint Hills spring fire ritual. Now, the world is taking notice through his recently published award-winning book, On Fire.
The experience of these fires is so exhilarating. It's something that's really impossible to describe. And to take one photograph and try to capture it, it's just so difficult. It's probably impossible to do.
His pictures show he's come more than close. He now has a collection of 68 photographs in the book that are the results of a decade of work and over 1,000 rolls of film.
Photography is my passion.
As a professor of art at Emporia State, Larry's home reflects his love of the arts. Pictures of he and his wife, painted by a friend.
We also like to surround ourselves with creative people, and most of the work we have in our house came from friends of ours.
And books where his work in photography have been published.
And hopefully that you get a sense of what my experience was through this work.
Upstairs, hours are spent on the fine detail work that go into each and every picture. And in his basement, the darkroom where negatives come alive through the eyes of an artist.
I'm always really excited when I develop film and I hold it up for the first time and see what's on there.
While Schwarm is a photographer of many subjects, he has become known for these pictures of the Flint Hills fires. He loves this because as a landscape photographer, he understands the relationship between fire and the destruction which becomes the land's rebirth.
Yeah, I'm very content. There's that part of me that always wants more, but I'm exceedingly grateful and pleased with what I have.
He does incredible photography work, and now Larry lives in Wichita. Well, on this next story, I'm going to stretch it just a little bit. It's actually Hatteberg's people and a dog. The dog's name is Harley, and these are the people who own her, Richard and Sony Rainey of Scandia, Kansas. Now, the people own a hardware store. The dog thinks she does too. And folks come not to see Richard and Sony, they come to see Harley.
Go get the duct tape. Hurry up.
Harley works in a hardware store. Harley does a great job until the pesky media follow her. Then she does just what some politicians do. She growls. She snarls. She threatens. And then she runs. But then she sees she can't hide. So she attacks our furry microphone. But unlike some politicians, Harley always completes her job. Scandia, Kansas in Republic County, founded in 1868 by a group of Swedes. It's a little town of 421 plus Harley, and this is where she works, at Richard and Sony Rainey's hardware store in downtown Scandia.
Yep, there she is.
Harley has been greeting folks for 4 years at this little hardware store.
Perfect.
This 65-pound, 22-inch tall yellow lab is an employee. She even has her own executive chair.
Harley, get me the WD-40.
But it's how she works. That's what people love to watch.
She gets more press and more notoriety than we ever get. Good girl. Once she started doing these tricks, our kids have got real tired of us talking about the dog. Harley, get the shims.
They think we've kind of gone overboard a little bit.
Good girl.
She really does understand so much of our lives and what we do.
Give me a pop.
People come in, just to see her. If she happens to not be in the store at the time, well, where's Harley?
Good girl. What's really fun is when somebody hadn't heard about her and wants duct tape or something. Go get the duct tape. Duct tape, hurry up. And we've had a lot of comments on that, like, yeah, really, no way.
Bring it here, come on.
One guy, hurry up. She was coming back with the duct tape. He said, well, I'll be darned. Good girl.
Ever since we've had her, people just love her. She's lots of fun, and people come in just to see her.
What do you see out there? Come here.
That's a dog who knows how to work, doesn't he? Well, I wanted to close this segment with a story about a woman I knew well. And frankly, I can tell you that this is an incredibly biased story, and I am unapologetic about that. It's about my mom, Mary Hatteberg Powers. You see, my dad died in 1981, and unfortunately, I never did a video story with him, and that was a mistake. With my mom, I wanted to make sure that that didn't happen. This is a Mother's Day piece that I did with her in 2004, a tribute to a great woman, my mom.
When that red light's on a buzzing, is that the taking a picture?
When the red light's on, you're on and people are watching you. This is a face of a long life, a life well lived. My mom, Mary Hatteberg Powers, 94 years old. Without her guidance, I wouldn't be talking to you today. With her constant love, no matter how insolent or childish I was, She always forgave me and urged me to achieve what I thought was impossible. She was a child of the Depression. Nothing was impossible after that. She outlived 2 husbands, buried an infant daughter. Born poor with 5 siblings surrounding her, that close-knit family proved to be a living model of caring and compassion.
This has been a good year. And with you here, it's much better.
We're close, she and I. Always have been. She was the first nurse to graduate from the Newton Hospital School of Nursing way back in 1933. Great nurse. And folks told me time and again, your mom is the best nurse I ever had. I'm not surprised. In the 40s, 50s, and 60s, she helped my father in the bakery business. And like nursing, it was horrendous hours and difficult times. But she always had time for me. She calmed me. She steadied me. She loved me. And she was there for me. Her hands are soft like her heart. Her eyes warm and beautiful to a grateful child. And over the years, I haven't said I love you often enough. I don't think any of us ever do. At 94, life is slower. Lots of pills, and she hates those pills, but there she is, still firm in mind, even if the body grows frail. I owe so much to this woman whose life is paved with love and compassion. She taught me about the good times, and she taught me about hard times. In the winter of her life, she is like an old lion full of slow ceremony.
Larry, I love you very much. You know that.
And I love you too, Mom, just as I always have. When folks talk about Kansas, I don't see the dusty fields or those long stretches of endless prairie, although I do like those things. What I do see are faces. Faces of the Kansas people living and loving life. I'm Larry Hatteberg. Thanks for watching.